new here, my name is Alyssa. Today I've got another recipe video for you, surprise, surprise. But today we are focusing on a single ingredient, and it's one of my favorite fresh fruits, and it is right now in season, and I am super excited about these recipes because they are so good and they are perfect for this time of year. We are using fresh figs, and I'm going to show you how to make two delicious fresh fig recipes. One is a dessert, one is a breakfast, and I'm also going to give you some tips for using them along the way that don't include these specific recipes. Figs are amazing. They are super healthy. They are full of fiber, full of vitamins, and they taste really delicious. I think that a lot of times we have this connotation with fig Newtons, which some people love, some people don't love. Fresh figs are like a world above fig Newtons in my opinions. They are sweet, they are juicy, they are just delicious, and they go with tons of different flavors, and I'm really excited to show you these recipes. So before we dive in, I would love to encourage you to subscribe if you are new here and you are not part of our community here on YouTube. I would love to have you join us. There is a red button right below this video that says subscribe. Just tap that button and you'll be subscribed. Otherwise, let's get into today's recipes, and don't forget that you can follow along on the blog posts, which are linked down below. So we're gonna start with the oatmeal because it's the easiest one. So we're gonna start by making just a simple base of regular oatmeal, so rolled oats along with almond milk. You could also use water. Bring that to a boil. Then you will add in a little bit of cinnamon, hemp seeds, and you can stir that together. And we're basically just going to stir it and let it simmer until it thickens. Once it has thickened, we will add our figs as well as our almond butter. And if you do like sweetness, you could add in some maple syrup as well, but basically just stir it all together until the oatmeal and the figs and the almond butter are all combined and smooth and creamy. And that's pretty much it. You're ready to pour it into your bowl. And for this one, you could also use steel cut oats if you wanted. That would be delicious. It would just take a little bit longer to cook, or you could do instant oats, or you could make this as an overnight oat bowl. And for the topping, more fresh figs, because this is all about figs in this recipe. So I did one that was halved, and then I had a few that were just chopped up, and I sprinkled those on top. And then I've covered them with some hemp seeds and a little drizzle of almond butter. Finished everything off with some almond milk and some maple syrup. I just love the creaminess that almond milk has, and of course, added sweetness is just like, I'm here for it. And you can dig in and enjoy. Just like other oatmeals, this is totally meal prep friendly and can be made ahead and reheated. Next, we are going to make our fig cake. This is actually the #1 most requested recipe, so I am really excited to have nailed it. And the first step is to half your figs. So as I am halving these, I'm going to also share a few other ways that you can use fresh figs as you are watching me chop. So one of my favorite ways to use fresh figs is actually to do just this, and then I put them on a piece of toast with some almond butter, and I top that with figs, and then I drizzle it with either honey or a little bit of balsamic glaze. You also can put figs on top of pizza. You can make fig jam, which I have not tested yet, but I will once I get another box of figs. And then also, you can just eat figs plain. They are so delicious. You can just dip them in a little bit of almond butter, or you can just eat them right with the stem. I kind of just bite them like I do an apple, I guess. In like 2 bites, I finish them, and they are also delicious. And like I said, figs are high in fiber. They're naturally sweet. They have vitamins and minerals, and they are just so decadent and delicious. So back to our cake. Once we have our figs all nice and chopped up, we are going to set them aside and move on to the base of the batter. So we're going to start by cracking 3 eggs into our bowl, whisk those together until they are smooth. To that you will add olive oil and honey and whisk that again together until it's smooth. Then we'll finish with our dry ingredients, which is almond flour, quinoa flour, baking powder, cinnamon, and a pinch of sea salt. And we will fold this all together until we have a nice smooth cake batter. and you're pretty much ready to bake. So we'll transfer this into a parchment lined baking tin. I recommend actually not doing what I did here. I recommend covering the whole tin in parchment because it did stick the first time, so it was a little hard to get out. But if you cover the whole tin in parchment, you'll have a much better job. Pour the batter in, smooth it over with your spatula, and then just decorate the top. You can put your figs in any sort of decoration you want. You can just throw them on randomly. You also could actually bake this in a square pan. I saw somebody do that on Instagram and they said it worked, so that was great. But just arrange them on top and bake it up. So pop it in the oven, bake it up until it is golden brown. The figs are cooked. The cake kind of bakes up around the figs, so you have this like pocket in the cake, and it's so good with the figs inside. Oh my god, it's delicious. Once I've let it cool and removed it from the pan, I like to finish off with a drizzle of honey, and then I really just slice it up and serve it as is. I don't really think that it needs anything else, but you could do a drizzle of like coconut butter or some sort of icing if you wanted, but again, I don't think it needs it. And I think this is like the perfect fall dessert. It also honestly makes a delicious breakfast. So if you are feeling like you want a piece of cake for breakfast, this is the one to have because it is delicious with a little bit of yogurt on top. I had pretty much the whole cake for breakfast like 5 days in a row, and I was happy as can be. So I hope you guys give it a try because it is so tasty. And there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed today's delicious fresh fig recipes. That's kind of a tongue twister. But these recipes, like you can see, are gluten-free, super easy to make, and delicious. So I hope you give them a try. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are blog posts that go along with each of the individual recipes. So if you want to get the measurements and instructions, etc., all written down and in a printer-friendly format, you can head over to those links and print the recipes and make them at home. If you have any questions about the recipes, let me know in the comments. I will say I have not tested the cake vegan. I don't know if it will work because of the flour combination tied with what the eggs do to the cake, i.e. like help with bind and structure. So you might be able to test it vegan. If you do, I think that it would probably work best with aquafaba, maybe whipping it a little bit so that you get the light airiness and then folding it into the batter. Again, I haven't tested it, but that's where my mind goes if I was to do a vegan test. So if you do try it at home and it works, let me know what you tried and how you tweaked it. And I also have ideas in the blog posts for flour swaps, etc. So yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, drop them down below. I've said that a million times. And if you do want to follow along with the recipes, you can find those links down in the description box. Otherwise, I so appreciate you being here. Thank you again for taking time out of your day to watch this video and to hang out with me. If you are new here and you like what you see, you like this kind of content, there is plenty more coming your way. We share videos twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday, and have hundreds of videos in our archive. So you can browse the archive, you can binge watch, and I encourage you to subscribe. So if you do want to subscribe, it's super easy. Just tap the red button right below this video that says subscribe, and that will subscribe you. Otherwise, have a fabulous rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.